Now, here's what I want to ask you a little bit about.
Put that graphic back up, though. I want to make sure I have this right.
Right.
Is it true that did John Elway do that in 1983?
John Elway did it. It was one of his first big wins ever against the Colts, right? Who, of course, won them. They were at home. They were an ugly football game, like a gray, cold day in Denver, and he brought them back to win the football game. That was the first magical Elway moment of his career, really. I'm a historian, in case you didn't know.
You're a selective historian.
But either
way. And it's better when it just kind of randomly pops into your head, because when we put the red light on and ask you the question,
I choke. I do. But all right, so here, serious talk here. All right, Denver, we know they got some work to do. They're obviously, a part of the cream of the crop in Denver, but there's issues there. I mean, in the AFC, but there's issues there.
They should have lost to the Jets in England. The Jets have minus 10 net passing yards, and the Broncos have to hold on for dear life to win.
It's crazy. I mean, they could have lost yesterday. They should have lost maybe in London, but they should have probably beat the Chargers and probably should have beat the Colts earlier in the year, right? So it's balancing out, I guess is what we're going to say. I think we know at least Denver's going to be in the mix here. The Giants, though, I still think this is the story. Right here, the story, talk radio, Boomer Esiason, and everybody on the WFAN. I'm sure they're getting calls. So as a Giant fan, I'm super excited. Like I said, I was super hurt yesterday for the first time ever, and I think that is a good thing because I'm actually expecting them to win. I'm rooting for the team. They're fun to watch. We got a quarterback. We heard Jason Garrett say it last night. So all of that. So was yesterday and what we're seeing a positive right now, or is it more of like, man, Brian Daboll and the coaching staff, they can't get us over the hump in certain moments and certain. What do you think it's going to be viewed as, right? I mean, I know it's a disappointment, but big picture, there was a lot of good, but yet the reality is they lost and it was a monumental fourth quarter meltdown.
And I think it's unwritten because it all depends upon how they react to it. And here come, there go the Giants down I-95 to Philly. I just don't think you want to play the Eagles again so quickly after beating them.
I would agree
and
with that.
Now that and we're going to talk about that coming up, they've kind of regained their mojo.
Right.
I think what happens week 8 at the Eagles, week 9 at home against the 49ers, who are not by any means an easy out, and then they go to Chicago, the Giants do week 10, and then they have the Packers, and then they're at the Lions, and then they're at the Patriots before their bye.
I know.
So how they react to it, that's going to be the challenge for Brian Daboll and the coaching staff. We draw out the positives, focus on eliminating the negatives, learning lessons from it, coaching points for Jackson Dart. How can we take whatever the good was from yesterday and parlay that into a potential sweep of the Eagles?
Yeah.
That's the key.
They got to figure out a way. They won 2 games where you felt like they were the underdog, the lesser team against the Chargers and the Eagles. But then they lost 2 games where you went, They outplayed the New Orleans Saints and lost that game. They outplayed the Denver Broncos for the majority of the game yesterday. I mean, had moments. I don't think we can overemphasize this either. Had moments of absolutely kicking the shit out of the Denver Broncos, physically winning the battle. We were all saying, sorry, London,
sorry,
all right? But we were sitting there all in the viewing room at points yesterday going, man, the Giants are bringing it. I mean, offensively and defensively. The Broncos were totally stymied for, the 3 quarters of the football game. So there is a lot of positive there by the New York Giants, but yet it is the second time in 3 weeks where they messed up certain situations and couldn't close out a game or couldn't keep the momentum going like they did in the New Orleans Saints game, and they lose a football game where you feel like they probably should have won and they were the better team on the field that day.
Typically in the viewing room on Sundays, we have Jets fans and Giants fans, and the Giants fans were very excited. Ebullient would be the word that I would use. And in the first half, it was, holy crap, Jackson Dart is going to save Brian Daboll.
Yeah.
By the end of the game, it's like, Daboll's done.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's because I feel like I have friends in my friends in Jersey and Tex where it's like, hey, things are positive, and then there's another group that's like, hey, it's official, Brian Daboll's done forever. We don't have to worry about it. This will end it. This proved he can't do it. And I think that's going to be here, the fight of the sports fan, the Giant fan up here, like I said, of sports radio and everything else today. That's going to kind of be the pushback. There was positive, but wait, this shows he can't help and win the game in a big moment, Brian Daboll. So there's going to be back and forth with that argument, I think, in Giant land at least.
There was conversation out in the hallway after Football Night in America. You were involved in it. The whole idea is it better to lose a heartbreaker like that or get blown out like the Raiders did yesterday.
Right.
We got some Raiders fans on the crew. And I still think it's better to get blown out.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're
because you know it's
emotionally out of it
over.
right
You can
away.
go take a nap. You can get a sandwich. You can do something else. When you especially when you allowed yourself, and it's not like it's unreasonable. Hey, holy crap.
Yeah.
We just beat the Eagles. We're going out to Denver.
Right.
Everybody's talking about them being a Super Bowl team.
Right.
We're going to beat them in Denver, and you just feel that just as it's going. And that's the worst feeling. The win that you believed you had, you concluded you have this win, let's just move the clock and get out of here. It just starts going one chunk at a time. You're like, okay, no, we're still good. Oh, we're still good. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then we came back with
And we're still good. And then we're not again.
That's one of those
it was a tough one.
You end up thinking about it for 5 days afterward. And
I think so.
don't let one loss become two.
Right.
That's one of the
challenge.
One of the things that you said years ago that I always think of when a team has a tough loss, you can't let one become two. And they have to go to Philly this weekend. Let's hear a little from Brian Daboll and Jackson Dart on the win that became a loss. That became a win that became a loss.
Yeah, tough loss. Put your heart and soul into it. Not a lot of talking that needs to be done when you lose a game like that. Everybody gave everything they had.
We got to finish games. I mean, we have to be able to finish the game. So we have good leaders on the team. We have good players. We have to find ways to finish the game and bounce back.
That's the kind of muted response you would expect. They went through a long day. They rode the roller coaster directly. They were the ones in the car. Everybody else was just spectating. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.